Hello everyone, and after the new Dragon Ball Super movie Broly, the perfect name that it was given to it, actually made huge numbers, already beating Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. With it, now we are going to elaborate a little bit into something that actually create a bit of controversy on the Dragon Ball community, which is the Dragon Ball minus part where basically you see Goku's hand and Bardock's hand. That is something completely taken from the Dragon Ball Minus, which was a manga created by Akira Toriyama in 2009, if I'm not wrong with the day. But here with me, Victor Jones, and we are going to discuss it because he has quite some things to say, I guess. So welcome, man.
Hello, I'm ready. Let's do it.
So yeah, how do you think that Dragon Ball Minus is, or that part from Dragon Ball Minus, because let's not say that it is completely going to be implemented on the story, but that part, that complete part, it is definitely going to be. So how do you think that is going to impact not just the movie itself, but Dragon Ball in general?
I'll first just start with the movie because that seems like the simplest. I'm the little snippet that Toriyama teased in his statement about the Saiyan past. I'm pretty sure they're going to relate that backstory to Broly in some shape or form because this movie is kind of already going to be a retelling, from all I can hear, of the first movie. So maybe they're going to do the same thing, that they were born on the same day, something similar. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Probably that is going to be implemented because Goku and Broly have to be connected in some way, shape, or form. And I do think that them being born on the same day or relatively at the same age makes sense so they create some connection.
Yeah,
Because,
so I think Dragon Ball Minus will kind of help their connection, help bring parallels. Maybe we'll see Goku's happy parents against, Paragis's, bad parenting with Broly. So I think that's what's going to happen with the movie, but I'm not sure how in depth you're going to go into that. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet. Now, in terms of the series, that's where Minus starts becoming a problem. It's kind of hard to talk about Minus because I kind of have to talk about, Jocko the Galactic Patrolman first.
yeah,
It's basically a prequel, to the prequel. So, Dragon Ball Minus is basically the story of Goku's parents, Bardock and Gine, showing up for the first time ever. Is they're sneaking around Frieza's back and they want their son to be safe. Both of them actually, Goku and Raditz. So they send Goku off and they try at least to send Raditz a message so that he avoids planet Vegeta. And that's basically it. There's a few minor changes there. They make Bardock completely different than how he was in the special. And the special is almost implied to be overwritten completely by this, 14-page chapter. And it's that it's 14 pages, admittedly, but it brings so many problems to Dragon Ball. A big part of what made the Saiyan arc, for example, so great is that there was a bit of dramatic irony to it. There was always, hey, Goku was sent to Earth to capture it, to kill everybody on it, basically, just so Frieza can rule it. But because they sent him away, because they treated him like garbage, he ended up becoming a hero. That would have never happened if he stayed on planet Vegeta or wherever. That was all because a beautiful coincidence that his own people treated him like trash. So he became the one to surpass their expectations. And this is further proven, but when Goku surpasses Vegeta with Kaioken times 4. And that's beautiful. That's great. Dragon Ball Minus takes almost all of that away. You still get Goku surpassing Vegeta, but all of the irony around it, all of the little beautiful nuances, that's gone. It's just, hey, Goku's parents loved him, and Goku's parents are good people, so of course good things happen to good people. He's the chosen one. And it's boring, it's expected, it's Superman in the worst possible way. How did you feel about that Superman aspect?
the thing is, when you were talking, I was thinking like, Man, they don't just, they don't just destroy a beautiful backstory to that, but actually that gets rid of everything that leads up to Goku growing up. Because,
Yes.
okay, Goku is shown to have anger issues, just like a Saiyan, because he's still quote unquote evil, you know?
Yeah.
Quote unquote evil. So, because of that, he hits his head and Grandpa Gohan teaches him. But the thing is, what takes it away is that now his heart is pure, still was going to be pure. Why? Because Gine and Bardock were already good people. Bardock on
Yeah.
the special, we're talking about this special, he's not shown as a good guy.
He
Bardock
no. He
Bardock is clearly like, oh, my son is a low son, you know? I'm not
what
saying
made
that he doesn't show feelings for his son, because we see him
yeah.
while he stops there to look at Goku or Kakarot. He stops there, he looks at him. But the thing is that Bardock doesn't appear to show too many feelings.
Yeah.
And
He
on Minus, he's just too emotional. He's too
like
soft.
conceptually, there's nothing wrong with him having loving parents. I know people be like, "Oh, okay, you're just mad because his parents love him this time." It's like, no, it's just what that means for the rest of the story is the problem. What made Bardock so great in the special, in the original special, not episode of Bardock,
Yeah.
is that he wasn't. He was a normal Saiyan. He wanted to capture planets. He wanted to prove himself. He was still killing people. He was a bad guy.
Well, they
But that
show it when he and his team basically slaughter
an
a
entire planet,
planet.
yeah. In the first like 2 minutes of the special, it's
Yeah, and then he got those hallucinating things.
yeah from
So,
the Knassans, yeah.
yeah, so the thing is that that special was great. It makes sense, it ties things up perfectly fine. And it came up that great that actually Toriyama implemented that on his own manga.
Yeah,
So,
that says a lot. Actually, that says a lot.
yeah, because Toriyama doesn't do such things. And the thing is that why now, 20 years later, 30 years later, how long it has been in between that, Toriyama goes on and just thinks that, oh yeah, I liked that back then, but I don't like it now. And he just
Yeah,
goes on to overwrite it completely. So with Minus, so if Minus is part of the movie, it basically throws the special out of the window.
yeah. And instead, we get a boring, padded out, not padded, boring exposition spit on a page for Goku's backstory. I would rather Goku not have a backstory than
Yeah,
have
that's
Minus
what
be the
makes him
backstory.
special. We
Yeah,
don't know shit about him. All what we know is that he was sent to Earth. That's all. Because that's what they did with these low-class Saiyans. I mean, Raditz explains it. They take the low-class ones and they send to people who have a low amount of strength, and they can basically capture that planet. They still get use of the low-class Saiyans. You get me?
yes, but they still make use of them, but they're still treated like trash, which
Yeah,
is the
but
main
that's the
point.
thing. You're being sent to. Come on, look at Earth, man. When you look how the story developed, you can clearly see why Goku was sent to Earth. Nobody there was going to be able to challenge him.
Yeah,
Like, how old was Goku? 13 when he saved the world from Demon King Piccolo?
I think he was 15 or 14.
Yes, it was something around that.
Yeah,
And that is a guy who hit his head, who basically knew nothing.
yeah,
And now imagine if Goku was actually evil and was trying to go people after people after people after people. Even if they beat him up somehow, he still was going to become an Uzaru, and Earth had no chance. But that little, him hitting his head, changed a lot of things, right?
yeah.
But Minus doesn't show that Goku is going there to capture Earth. He's going there to be safe.
and especially this is a minor change, but it also changes quite a bit. Is that Goku is like 3 years old in that pod when he runs away, and Saiyans have very good memory from when they're kids. Before even Raditz says that Goku forgot everything because he hit his head, not because he grew up or anything.
Yeah,
He was supposed to have known that he was a Saiyan and was supposed to capture the planet.
yeah,
So we know that Saiyans have good memories when they're young. But so Goku knows his parents sent him away to be good. So obviously you wouldn't expect Goku to be bad. He would listen to his parents, even if he is a bit grumpy and rambunctious. So there is really no threat to Earth, honestly.
yeah. And if Raditz knows that, then it just takes away even that, because Raditz should be aware that Goku had a soft mom, right?
Yeah.
And they took care of him. So Raditz should have been aware that Goku wasn't actually going to capture Earth.
Yeah, and
So
it makes Raditz's explanation really dumb. It
yeah,
also, yeah, it makes no sense how Raditz even found Goku. Because in before minus, you could just say, okay, Goku's mission is cataloged somewhere, and Raditz just checked the database and found out he was on Earth.
yeah,
But if in minus, there's no way, because if Raditz talked to Gine, then obviously Raditz would know that Frieza was the one who killed Planet Vegeta and was going to kill all the Saiyans, and would know that Goku wasn't sent to capture Earth. So that Raditz makes no sense. Now everything he says is a lie.
yeah, but that takes away from it. It just takes too many things away from it to actually be considered very seriously. As you said before, it's not the biggest problem that Gine or Bardock are soft. But if Toriyama makes adjustments this time with the story, there is no Raditz involved.
Yeah.
Let's say if there is no Raditz involved, and maybe you could tie things up a bit better, because Goku is still low class and it doesn't take away from him actually surpassing Vegeta, right? What it takes away is for the reason why he surpassed Vegeta.
Yeah.
It takes away the purpose, because it's still an achievement that he's stronger than an elite. And he is a low class who actually turned Super Saiyan. It doesn't take away those achievements, because people might be thinking that it does. No, it doesn't. What it takes away is the feeling that it shows, the way how it is portrayed.
The themes that underlie the entire arc.
Basically, the first episode starts with Goku learning that he's an alien. He was sent to destroy Earth. And things of that nature, like the first episode of Z, I mean. And then you kind of, as we develop the story, you can see that it loses purpose. As you develop it more and more and more and more. And then if Raditz knew that Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta, then why didn't he tell Vegeta or Nappa?
Yeah, they would also know the true story.
So they would know. So first of all, Vegeta is shown to be quite cunning and smart. I wouldn't be like Vegeta is going to go after Frieza immediately. But it takes away the emotion that Vegeta feels when when Dodoria tells him that, hey, Frieza killed you all because of this. Vegeta feels that confidence afterwards. So Frieza is scared of science. It is something that he repeats throughout the whole arc.
Yeah.
And that, it just takes away too many things out of the original story.
And if, in terms of the movie, they might make it longer. They might fix minor issues because, to be honest, it's a whole bunch of exposition. We don't ever see Bardock and Gine falling in love. We don't ever see Bardock becoming a good person.
Well,
all we see are just their statements like, "Oh, I made you good. Oh, I'm a good
Yeah,
person. I work with the meat factory.
Toriyama explains that Bardock was just one of the few Saiyans with brain. That is how he explains Bardock on Dragon Ball Minus. He has actually sentiment and cares. And Gine wasn't a skilled fighter, but she was, cute, you could say, sweet, and that's why Bardock fell for her, and that's why he protects her. Gine was originally part of the Bardock's crew. That's how Toriyama explains it.
So yeah, that would they might actually show that in the movie.
I
But
do expect that to be shown just because Toriyama has talked about it.
yeah, but I wouldn't expect that wouldn't fix the major issues that Minus causes. Just the minor underlying issues. I don't think they have to really overhaul Minus completely for them to fix Minus altogether. And which is why I don't really have much hope for that. Because Toriyama is known for taking the easiest way. And the easiest way is just doing what he already did and not changing anything at all.
Yeah, arguably. But then again, he said that this is the project he has worked at most. So that is kinda something to be appreciated, I think, or maybe gives me hope. But I can
Yeah.
say completely because I repeat it always. Toriyama is very inconsistent when it comes to writing. And we have to cut him some slack at the end of the day because he's not 30 anymore or 40. He's old now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there is a bit too much pressure on him. But I don't think that we should cut him slack if he actually ruins it.
Yeah.
Like, you have created something special. After all, like, I know that he's not too fond of the things that he has created with Dragon Ball. He has said that.
Yeah.
He wishes that he could go back and actually change some things. But when you look at the story overall, it is really damn good. I'm talking about it overall. I'm not focusing there on the plot holes or the things that Toriyama just forgot through the road or decided not to pay attention. I'm not talking about this. But when you look at it, Goku as a kid and Goku at the end of Z, it is a beautiful story, at least in my eyes.
Yeah. There's a lot to take away from it. There's a lot of themes that pushed it. And despite all the plot holes, we still talked about Dragon Ball even before Kai, even before the 2008 special, because there was always discussion, about how Vegeta unfused, how Piccolo did this or that. Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball has flaws, it becomes something that people still talk about to this day. Some people disagree on how much the flaws affect the series. Some people disagree on the problem. Some people disagree on Minus, which is what we're talking about today. And that's what keeps Dragon Ball so everlasting, and probably why Dragon Ball sells so much. It's that we can discuss. We can always discuss.
It has way too much to be discussed, if we're being honest. Like, if we just take Super away, we need at least like 3 books just for that, just to explain what is this and what is that. If we're going like Hid's backstory, give us a bit of that. Give us Planet Sadal. Give us Jiren. Something about Pride Troopers. Because we got the Jiren thingy. That the, as I like to call it, the Sasuke of Dragon Ball. Like, it's the same story.
Basically, yeah.
It's like when I first saw it, I got excited. When the pictures were released?
Yeah, even when you think about, like, the whole theme of the friendship, which is ripped straight from Naruto, Jiren is basically Sasuke.
Yeah, basically that. And you can see the way how he treats his teammates, quote unquote. It's Sasuke, straight up Sasuke. When he goes like, shut up, and things of that nature. But still, the thing was that Dragon Ball Minus, at this point, with no information, we haven't read the script, we haven't watched the movie because it is not out yet. with how the things stand, Dragon Ball Minus damages Dragon Ball more than it helps.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. And it's an inclusion that I never thought I would see animated. I was very hoping it would never be animated, but I guess we'll just see how it turns out.
I just hope that somebody has criticized Toriyama for what he has done there.
Yeah,
If somebody has done that, then definitely he's going to do something. But if people are like, yeah, you just do your thing, Sensei, then no, I'm not so fond into that.
yeah, of course.
Once again, to just wrap this up for people who didn't understand, we haven't said something bad about Toriyama in the first place, because I know that some people just can't accept the fact that Toriyama is being criticized. We
No,
are not saying that he's a bad writer or something like that. It's just that Dragon Ball Minus was bad.
even the greats are put out some dull work every now and then. It's not because they're bad. It's because everyone has bad days.
Thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
No, I'm happy to be here, bro. Anytime.
Thanks to everyone who watched it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.